Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I'm still Chris.
Welcome back, Audra.
Yes.
Yes. Yay.
I am Tony.
And I am Cherie.
And I am Lourdes.
And I am not.
Who are you?
Above.
I don't know who I am.
We know you're one.
Happy to be back.
Yeah.
Happy to be with the crew.
The crew.
The crew. The Stay Haunted crew. Yeah. Hey, there's Everett. He's here early this time.
Yeah.
Hey, Everett. Okay. Roger.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to meet Roger. He's fun. He did a fantastic testimonial for the docuseries. And he is a member of Team Rathman if ever one was. Oh yeah,
He is. He's a real good guy too. And we were talking about earlier, he got a Staticom date for I think 2 weeks on a Saturday. So we're looking forward to that.
Courtney Peterson, one of the kindest people in the biz.
Yep. Agreed.
Facebook user. That is race.
Race.
That is race. That's race? That was race, yeah. Oh, look at that. The only way he can go on Facebook, watches on StreamYard, he watches on YouTube. Going like this the whole time. What'd you guys do this weekend? Or this last week?
What did we do?
Us first?
I can't even remember.
Friday night we were off. We had nothing Friday night. Saturday night we had the Shadow Soiree, the third one, I think, right? Annual.
Well, it's the second. We've been there 3 times,
years,
but the
right.
Shadow Soiree is the second.
Victorian themed Staticom based event. They did a 45-minute live scoring of an edited version of Nosferatu from I think 18.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So they had a harpist and a keyboard player and a percussionist. The percussionist and keyboard guy were father and son. The harpist was 14, I think.
Yeah.
And they live scored it with the all the words on the screen like that, whatever. Really beautiful setup seance. So, and we did a Staticom thing. The town's a little bit fussy in the town of Crawford up there in New York, so they wouldn't let them advertise and say seance. So when we did digital seance the year before and sold it out, this time
with the waiting list.
Yeah, we sold out with a waiting list. So this year they wouldn't let us do it, so we had to David Oman. Now, we want to come out there bad, David Oman. Many spirits will want to know. I believe that house is I'll still say this, and not because he's here, and I've said it before, the most consistently active place I've ever been in since I've been doing this stuff. Just like every time you go, if you're looking to get disappointed for your money, don't go there because it won't happen. You will always get something for your time and money at that house. No question. So the soiree was good. They do a beautiful job setting it up and arranging it. We did a big media push leading up to it, and they ended up selling most of the room. Actually, we pretty much filled the room
with 15 walk-ins.
15 walk-ins the day of the event.
Oh, good job.
So it was good. We didn't realize we were a little bit under the gun with the whole no seance thing, but. Yeah, I guess, sometimes it's the buzzwords and the semantics for whatever reason. You can talk to spirits, you just can't say seance,
Yeah, just change it to digital exorcism.
No what could go wrong?
I love that one.
Yeah. But good event, good weekend. And we just took it easy Sunday because we were kind of wiped and we have consecutive weekends coming up. We did, here's how we passed the torch. We did happen to catch a little bit of what Team Rathman did. Over the weekend, and again, amazing when they sit down and do Staticom, what they've been pulling in. I love it.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
that was great.
So Friday night, we did happy hour,
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun and
Nice.
needed.
Saw that. Yep.
Saturday, we had a private event at a person's home that requested from an actual Staticom digital seance initiative we did in Cave Creek. They asked us to come to their house. They wanted to show their friends, let them experience it. So we ran it for about 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Wow. As you should.
Of course.
Right.
And it did. It produced some great responses. The biggest concern was that it was a group of friends. They all knew each other, and they really liked to talk.
Yeah.
So they missed a lot
Yes.
of what was going on. And so when we sent the first video today, I've got 4 other videos to go through, and it was the slowest during the first video we recorded. There was a ton of responses. So I'm sure I'll be getting, well, we got one response already going, oh my God, this is incredible. And yeah, they were answering, they were saying things we were saying, people they were asking about, and a couple of slanders here and there on some people that were there. But it ran really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can share the video clips because it's a personal.
Yeah,
but
it was a private, personal.
It's amazing response.
But with the responses were really good. And then Sunday, you worked, I edited.
Yeah.
I only got through the first one though, but that was our weekend. And then today we don't talk about because it was the end of the weekend. And but now it's over, and we're here doing the show. So
So we talk to you.
Oh, of course.
Yes. It's pre-Tuesday. Pre-Tuesday.
Tuesday. Correct.
Tuesday Eve. Tuesday
Yeah.
Eve.
But we got to see a snippet of some of the stuff that you did, and it was amazing. We're just watching it going, it's cool when you capture it, but when you see it, like when you pull stuff like that too, we were like, wow, this is just, it's incredible. So much quality stuff in there. And I think we get hung a little bit sometimes on the fact that we say we get longer messages than like a sweeping box would get. Sometimes the messages are short. You had some things you said and they go, yes. So it's not like everything is a paragraph. But the thing is that you have a connectivity in the moment that lasts the entire time you're running the method. It's an open line the entire time. And maybe like a bad cell phone connection where you don't always hear it. You can't always connect with each other. But the conversation is capable of being sustained over that length of time without having to reconnect and do anything. It's you had that. You had pockets where you had nothing, and then boom, all of a sudden there was magic again. That's the part of this method that is also, it's not just the long parts, the long messages. That was incredible just to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, even in normal conversations with people, they don't always answer with full sentences. You get one word, like when I say to Sheree, hey, what are you doing today? Cleaning. I mean, it sets a tone, a mood, and to just back up and
But again,
walk away.
No, that's true. We had actually at the Pine Bush place, we showed the trailer for the docuseries, and I had to lower the volume on the one slider thing on the video player because it was a speaker that was a little bit blown. So you heard that vibration. And we think it made a little bit of a damage. It damaged a little bit the live hearing part of it, like in the moment. We had our sound bar, which might be a little small for that room, but we thought maybe we should have pulled that out and use it instead. Just for the audio part, we had it on the big screen, but I think it did. It
muffled the voices a little bit.
Yeah.
But people still heard stuff. We still heard stuff in real time.
Yeah.
But
there was still a lot of good stuff.
But I wish we would have taken that on speaker.
And same as like you, like when you play the recording back because you're close to the audio source. A lot of times with it, you can hear it a lot better. So.
Yeah, it was funny too because we tested it the night before or 2 days before.
Yeah.
And when we actually take it out and do either an event or a private event, just the difference between, and I said to Sheree, some of it might be just my attitude, because I never had it fail taking it out ever. But at times when I'm at home, I'm like, they're not saying anything, and then I probably get discouraged and frustrated.
Right.
But it's always good to have those experiences where it just talks up a storm.
Yeah, which clearly it did. Chris and Audra.
Yes.
Oh, we Audra's Aunt Debbie came to visit us for the first time.
Surprised
us and stayed at the house with us, and she's very well known in the family as Uncle Debbie. She is 66 years old, and she is a wildcat. I can tell you right now. She is. It was a fun, interesting night. So
yeah, we still got to hang out with family we haven't got to see for a few months or so.
We were supposed to go out for our anniversary dinner, but we moved it to this coming weekend. Tomorrow's our anniversary. So.
That's anniversary. Look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah, 12 years together, 8 years married.
Wow.
Very nice.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it was a fun weekend.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, Uncle Debbie's always a blast.
Yep. We kept the party warm for you guys.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we kept the party porch warm. Uncle Debbie kept it.
Yeah, we can't wait to come back and do that. That was fun. We keep saying it, but that was the first time we all six got together, and we had as much fun investigating as we did just sitting on the porch of your house and just
It was magic.
shooting the shit and talking. It was great.
Fun. So much fun.
It was so much fun.
It was great. If you guys live closer to here, we'd be dragging you to all the stuff we're doing now.
We'd be going.
Yeah.
It would all be better with you guys here. It would be better.
We'd be going.
Yep.
So would we, but unfortunately you live in one of the busiest traffic overflowing.
Well, we're near it. Yeah.
We're near it.
We're near it. Dude, when we went up to Mass Paracon, did we talk about that afterwards? It's a 4-hour drive.
Oh my god!
But there was that torrential rain that was coming through, so there was like all these. I never got this before. We're in the car and it goes, "Don't drive unless absolutely necessary or fleeing an area."
Yeah, fleeing an area. We were like, what?
What?
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
There was no flooding. We did puddles, but there were accidents all over the place. So it took us a long time.
It was supposed to take us 4.5 hours. It took us 7 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
Looks like the first time we drove up to Gettysburg, we cut through the back roads of Pennsylvania. And there's these roads, and there's a sign on the side of the road that says, snow escape route. And I'm like, how bad does the flipping snow get here? You got to run from it.
Yeah. I like to have those signs in Pennsylvania that say pass with care. As you go by. Okay. So
I bet you guys are all wondering why we brought you here tonight. We just wanted to bullshit.
Yeah, say hi.
So what we did for tonight is all of us picked what we thought was our collectively. So we are all EVPI. We are all EVPE, but we have our separate groups. We have Southern entities here in North Carolina. Are you pointing?
Oh, I guess he's.
I'm trying to point.
Tony and Sheree have EVPI, which is Entity Voices Paranormal Investigation, still going on in Arizona, and of course we got Gonyak Paranormal up in. But ultimately, we are a group. We are EVPI and EVPE. So, but we all do go out and investigate separately. We collect our own evidence. But we picked what we felt were our top 2. Ron got 3. I'm sure it was.
He cheated.
And I got to be honest, like I saw the thing when I saw the promotion for the show, and it said they're 2 of our best ever. These are up there. I don't know if I would like one of the best we ever got. It was the 1 minute and 8 seconds long from the Family of the Damnation one, but we've shown it so many times. I didn't want to put it in the till for tonight's show. So these are amongst some of the best. A couple of them are. The reason there's a third one is because it's really short, and we just got it recently. Incidentally, Saturday at the event, we got Gonyak.
Yeah, for the first time.
Oh.
For the first time. Gonyak. We both looked at each other. Gonyak.
And then yesterday, because I was testing the one component that I was texting you about, Tony, when I was testing it, we ran it for a little bit. Sometimes we'll do a session and record, and we got something, the Rathmans.
The Rathmans. Something the Rathmans. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So I'm going to go find one more short one and edit real quick.
Yeah. Yes.
One last night.
Oh, yeah.
That did not sound right at all. That did not sound right at all.
One more short one and add it. Either he's being inappropriate or he's talking about me. Either way.
But there's some good stuff in here. The audience will definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
You may have seen them, you may not. I mean, a lot of the stuff hasn't been played. I don't know what Ron and Lourdes uploaded, and if they're new, then they probably haven't seen them.
One or two of them are definitely.
I know some of the best ones we haven't been seen in a really long time. So should be good. Should be great.
Should be really good. And then what we're going to do is once we get to the clip, if we have some time, once we get through the evidence that we've got to show you guys that we think is our favorite, we'll open the chat for questions if you guys have it for the 6 of us. So first one we got up is from Gonyak. I am somebody consciousness.
This one's fairly new. I think we showed it once.
I think we did, yeah.
But I liked it because not only was it really clear, and then I repeated the last part of it in the video just for the emphasis of how we talk about the continuity of life and continuing life and consciousness being what we think we contact. And so having something come through with such clarity and say that, I thought was very telling and profound as far as what was said.
That's funny.
I'm laughing so hard.
Right.
When I'm on a radio. That's Reese Hobbs.
Yeah.
That is good.
Take a breath.
Gonna be another
Bullshit moment. All right, guys, here we go. This is it.
Consciousness, consciousness, consciousness.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, your friends keep coming through.
Yeah, Tony.
I was like, stop interrupting our sessions, Tony's friends.
Either you get his name or his friends. He's unavoidable in the afterlife, people. That's what I'm saying.
What's so awesome about that, though, is that there are so many, when you think about it, so many pieces of that show intelligence, that shows connection to the here and now. The fact that it's identifying itself as someone's consciousness, okay, that speaks volumes to the fact that life goes on, that there's a lot more to consciousness than what science says that it is, because you have it speaking, whether it's through Staticom or a spirit box or whatever, doesn't matter. It's got the intelligence to do it. And then the fact that it mentioned my name, it's conscious itself of the current time frame and what's going on here. That to me makes that catch just outstanding.
There's a part of that catch that a lot of people miss. There's a metaphysical side to that. Look at me. The fucker was in the room.
Good point.
That is contextually implied. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's right.
That's
Sounds like a phone call to the living so quick. Yeah. and that's true. And I think that's one of the things that I've been excited about when I looked at an older one, but the one that said Tony's your friend and bocce and whatever, and there was no noise floor. There were vocals or it was silent. And I'm like, why aren't we still sounding that way? And between our input and Tony's input, we got it kind of to that point now where if it's not anything vocalization wise coming through, it's not anything. It's quiet. And that was one of those cases when it came through that way. And when you see what I'm sure what Tony's going to show, the stuff we saw that he kind of sneak peeked to us over from the weekend, same thing, man. It was just like there's very little blips and noise floor, but the vocals are prominent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I owe that to you, Ron. You, when you went down, recalibrated it, and you're like, hey, and you played one for me through Messenger, and I'm like, there's no noise floor. And then we had that discussion. You showed me what you did, and amazing work. Amazing.
Well, here, I appreciate that, and that's evidence not just of quality paranormal research. That's evidence of teamwork. Because the only reason I was back on my feet to move forward with the sound was because when my whole system went caca, I was like, I'm done. I'm going to just start growing tulips in the backyard now. Bye bye. And Tony,
same thing.
yeah, Tony helped me get everything back up to speed. I had to change computers for people who don't know and recalibrating stuff. I thought I was getting rid of one issue. I inherited other ones through compatibility and everything, and it's way better now than it's ever been. But that was true. I was able to move the quality of the sound forward, but Tony got me back on my feet by figuring out where I was having issues with the whole setup and everything. So that is, and we've said it before, and I'll always repeat it. I don't care. That is the quality of this 6-person team that we have here. That always seems to work, is that everybody's there for everybody in one way or another.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing about that clip too, that word consciousness is hard for us to say, let alone somebody else, otherworldly to say.
Great point.
Yeah, very clear.
And it was intended to be used exactly in that manner.
Yeah.
That was a great catch.
That's phenomenal.
Yes.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I was excited about it because of the consciousness mentioned, because of the clarity of it.
And the relationship, like Gio said to Tony, your friend. Right. Tony's friend.
Yeah.
Which is true.
That speaks volumes to the intelligence factor of who.
A couple of times, right? We've had that where they declare that we know each other. It's happened more than once.
Well, the first time they flat out asked, "Is Tony your friend?" No, I'm asking. I mean, they literally like, do you know? Do you really know each other? Or is he just making this up?
Be pulling our leg.
Is he pulling our leg?
Now all his friends are coming through.
There you go. The recording also builds self-awareness. And that's interesting too, because from a philosophy and consciousness point of view, that is part of why a lot of philosophers don't think that the brain could possibly be what creates consciousness, because it would rule out metacognition, which is the fact that you know we're talking and you're aware of the fact that you're aware that we're talking and you're aware of the fact, and it keeps going. That's metacognition. Something can't be the reference point for itself.
Right. And Gio just made another good comment, and he said he's saying I. So that's the self-awareness of himself, even in consciousness. So
yeah. Well, along with the eye, along with the look at me too. It's like, hey, pay attention. Yeah.
To me. Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay Campbell. Awesome. That was so clear. Amazing. Yeah. And this is great, because this is another thing when we have these discussions amongst each other and with such an educated audience that we have for the show. These are things that, when we record it, and you probably do it with your own stuff, both of you, EVP, Staticom, whatever, you're like, this is so cool. Listen, it's so clear. And then people like you guys come out with all these analytical things about what it also speaks of. And we're like, yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
Brad's like, look at us.
They're onto something. But that's cool. That's part of sharing it and peer review and recognition and stuff. And those are great points that Audra and Chris made, what Tony spoke to. So it's exciting, man. We did 3 hours for people who may not have seen the show before. Maybe they're new to this whole Staticom thing. They hear Tony in the beginning of the show going, "Oh, we ran this thing for 3 hours." They're going, "Oh my God, 3 hours! 3 hours isn't enough."
It goes like that.
It's so fast.
It goes just like that.
Not when it's working.
Right. It goes by so fast.
Exactly.
All right. So the next piece we have is from Tony and Cherie at Phelps Dodge.
Yay, Phelps.
Okay. So hold on. Let me think which one was. Okay. No, wait. Let me think. Which one?
This is when you spent the night.
Okay. Yes. So obviously, only being able to pick 2 clips, I put together the longest clip I could that would still fit within StreamYard. None of these from me tonight are going to be Staticom. We went back and took a look at just some of the just unbelievable catches. So this one is just kind of a tribute to the Phelps Dodge, because we, for 3.5 years or whatever it was, basically lived there, investigating with Chris and Audra for many of those years. So this was a night that one of the last ones we got to be there.
Yeah.
And we not only investigated till wee hours in the morning, we actually put up some screened in tents to keep bugs and creepy crawlies off of us, because there were plenty of them in there.
Right.
And we spent the night and slept there.
With Dylan.
Dylan was with us.
Oh, okay.
This is the one I think it is. This is the one I think it is. You showed part of it in the docuseries too, right?
Yeah.
That's in there too. There's two.
In there too. There's a few things in there.
The first section is when we're actually asleep, because we let all the cameras, all the recorders run. So the first part is just noises going on in the hospital when the only 3 people that were in the building are all in the camera shot, and no one else can get in. Doors are locked. Everything's secure. So.
And y'all don't make fun of Tony and Cherie for the bug nets, because we captured one night a tarantula this big under a bucket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Black widows, or not black widows, brown recluse.
Yeah.
We've seen in there scorpions. So I'm like, we'll put up the screen tent.
I went back a half hour later to see if the tarantula was still underneath the bucket. The damn thing lifted it up and left.
He got out.
And it took your digital recorder?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
And extra batteries.
That's right.
The one that did the show in Phelps Dodge, they saw a tarantula and they're asked to spray before.
That was Destination Fear.
Destination
Freaked
Fear.
out because there were some spiders. We had to go ahead and kill them all.
Yeah.
It's Arizona. It's Arizona. It's an abandoned hospital.
And then
in Puerto Rico, we use them all the time. The tents.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It worked
teach
great.
you something about Phelps Dodge Hospital. If I would have went in there and sprayed that thing, it would have drew the bugs out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
That's
you just
true.
let them be where they're at.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's look at this clip.
That is as ridiculous as it gets.
Never.
The noises in the beginning when there's nobody else there sounded
sleeping.
as humanly active as possible.
Yeah.
Right. No, because
and I'll be quiet. That shadow stuff, that shadow figure, I've been in this field, 13 years. That is, and I'm saying it now, and not because you're my friend, that is the best video evidence I have ever seen anybody produce of the paranormal since I've been doing this. That is unbelievable.
Thank you.
Let me add some validity to that. So Tony and Cherie and Dylan are all sleeping in that room. Yeah, they're on the second floor. Every exterior door but one in that whole hospital is screwed shut. And how do I know that?
You did it.
I did it. There is a deadbolt on the only door that you can get in, and you have to lock it from the inside and the outside because I put it on the door myself. There was only 3 keys at the time that these people were sleeping in there. One was Alan. Alan was too old to be up that late.
Right, and Alan would ask us permission. Alan would ask us permission to come to his hospital because he wanted to make sure we weren't doing something. Like, Alan, it's your building. You can come anytime you want. It's yours.
The other key was in Tony's pocket.
Right.
The third key was in North Carolina.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You mailed it back. Yeah,
so it's physically impossible. Yeah, I mailed it back to you. It's physically impossible for anybody else to have been in that hospital.
Yeah.
Well, and the other point is that for people that aren't aware, that hallway is the second floor. So the window this was like 6 o'clock in the morning. So the sun had come up, but you would have to be 20 feet tall to cast a shadow into that hallway.
30.
I mean,
that side of the building that's the third floor because of the basement below.
You're right. You're right. But the fact of the matter is nobody could have been walking outside that and plus the shadow walks from the light into the darkest part of the hallway, which we can't explain.
Yeah.
One more piece of validity. We have seen that shadow figure at that end of the hallway with our own eyes multiple times.
Correct.
And all those sounds, it's like not I don't say home, but we were there so often that it just sounds so routine.
Right.
As scary as that is.
Right.
And I saw people comment and say, didn't you hear that? You slept through that? I did enhance that part of it a little bit on the sound. So they probably aren't as loud as what you heard, but not far off.
Mm-hmm. And we have heard that stuff multiple times.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
When you're that tired from investigating all night, once you fall asleep,
you're out.
It's going to take, they would have had to shake the tents and tip them over to get you up.
Right. Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It was like 3 o'clock when we finally went to bed.
Yeah. Dylan's so exhausted.
Yeah, he was out first.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this statement. We've investigated. Trans-Allegheny is listed as one of the most haunted locations in the world.
Mm-hmm. It is top 13 in the world.
Top 13 in the world. We have been there twice. The only other location that I have ever been to in the 26 years I've been investigating that I felt was just as haunted and just as active as Trans-Allegheny, Phelps Dodge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is a shame that we can no longer get into that building.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
We never got into that building. When we did the 4-mansion tour.
Close. So close.
We were within 2 weeks of booking tickets to go out to Arizona to do Phelps Dodge, and then they told us what happened. So that's why we ended up doing the 4-mansion tour, and they came here. But we were supposed to go there originally. Everything you've shown us, all of you, from evidence from there is phenomenal. But that, I mean, I can't say it enough times that I've had pictures and SLS and all these different things that people have shown and really good stuff. But that video, that's one of those things that it's actually in my 4th book when I said that we win and lose by knockout. If it's not good enough, it doesn't meet criteria to convince people who don't know about this stuff. But then if it's that good, they think you faked it because it exceeds their criteria. So you really can't win either way. That's how effing good that is. That for anybody who's not on board with that, that's not hoax and it's legit. Who cares? It's that good. That's that good.
You should have seen the expression on my face after sitting through 4 or 5 hours of DRV footage. And then I saw that. It was like,
we will play it again, y'all.
Yeah.
Uncle Giuseppe and Jenny Colucci want to see it. That's 2 endorsements right there.
So there's a third.
Yeah, let me give you a concept Trans-Allegheny is 289,000 square feet, the main building. Phelps Dodge Hospital, 32,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Not even a third, not even a quarter of the size of Trans-Allegheny, just as active, if not more. Let's play that again. Here we go.
Yeah, it's got to be played again.
Here we go.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's just crazy. That's ridiculous.
It's like the best part is when the shadow, he's there and then he moves forward. That's the part I love. The shadow moves forward.
He moves towards the camera, and just before he comes out, you can see the camera glitch a little. Yeah. And then comes out, and it's like he just starts walking forward and then maybe notices it or something, and then flips around, goes back in the door he came out. But I was watching the first part of it, and I said, "Oh, Sheree, how sweet. You have your arm around me." She goes, "I was freaking scared."
Even though, like, you know, we've been doing this like for how long investigating, it still scares me, especially, you know, living there overnight and you're just the three of you. You don't even know what's going to happen. So,
well, we know what the building, what we've experienced for all the years we investigated. So we had some idea, which probably didn't help the comfortableness and not knowing, because we've never, I don't think, we've stayed there till late. But I don't think that, I think it was the first time we won't ever spent the entire night there.
Yeah. We've left cameras in there overnight, but never stayed.
Oh, yeah. We've left cameras and recorders overnight. But
so, guys, the Phelps Dodge Hospital was the paranormal extravaganza. Whistles, voices, door slamming, shadow figures, apparitions, voices, audible, EVPs audible, you name it. I mean, orbs. We caught and it didn't matter what time of day it was.
Right.
It could be 10:30 in the morning. It could be 2 a.m. at night. I mean, Stetson and his wife currently now, Allison, and I went down there to black out part of the upstairs for the tours. And there were screams going on. Tony and I walked at 2 o'clock in the afternoon one day in that hallway that you saw with the shadow figures. and one of those doors slammed behind us just after we opened it.
Right. Yeah.
We weren't even 2 feet away from it. The damn thing slammed shut. Remember?
Slam and hard. And that door, you could open it all the way because it kind of would close by itself, and it would go about this far to closing and stop. So to have it slam shut, no clue how it did that.
And it looked like they were checking up on you because you hear the footsteps and you hear them come closer, and then you hear one say something, and then the other one says, they're sleeping, and then they're like, all right, well, let's have a party.
Yeah.
Let's have a party. They're sleeping.
I never heard that. I never heard that.
There's one that comes. I'm not sure what the first one says, but then the second one says they're sleeping. Absolutely.
Absolutely. They're sleeping. Okay, we can play it again. Why not?
It says that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Twice is enough. It's a long clip. Twice is fine. But yeah. I'll go back and listen after the show because I want to hear it.
So it looks like they checked up on you because you hear the footsteps get closer and closer. Yeah, then one says something, and then the other one says they're sleeping. And then I guess they said, all right, well, it's party time. Let's go. Then they started making noise. But absolutely check it out. It says they're sleeping.
For the audience, go back and watch the show again once it posts back to Facebook and YouTube. There's also a portion in that where it sounds like the elevator's running in that clip.
There is something going on. It does very much so, Chris, sound like it is the elevator. But you figure, I mean, who knows? We don't have the answers to what we're hearing, how we're hearing it. And you know, they almost looked like they were right in the middle of functioning as if the hospital was still operational. So could all those sounds come through as well? Of course, I think.
Of course they can. Yeah. Hell, we've heard gurneys going down the hallway in that building. Like the old wheel gurneys going down the hallway?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Undoubtedly, they're sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I thought you knew.
We thought you knew.
I didn't know that.
And plus, there's no neighbor around that building.
There's one way down at the bottom of the hill, but you wouldn't hear them if they screamed at the top.
Oh, no. And there's an older couple that's just above on top of the hill, but hell, they get pissed off when you're being loud at 6 o'clock at night.
Right. Or 6 o'clock in the morning, that was.
Yeah. So ironically enough, this next clip,
keep it a theme,
is from Phelps Dodge.
Oh, yes.
This is one of my favorite clips because this is the first time Audra and I did an investigation with Tony and Cherie, the very first investigation. And we told Tony we were sensitive. And Tony's a skeptic when it comes to, you've got to prove it to Tony.
This proved it.
Yeah.
So
this proved it.
Here's this clip.
2 minutes, 18 seconds. I got a giggle. Really? There's a woman in here.
Wow.
Awesome.
There's an argument over there. Tony's like,
I did not hear that with my own ears. Yeah. I did not hear that till we replayed the recording. And that woman's voice is so loud and so clear. And I'm like, holy, and Chris just says, there's a woman in here. And you're right. And it's female. And I'm like, holy fuck.
The best part about that is about 2 hours after that, we were standing on the second floor hallway looking down towards the nursery. And I told Tony, I went, do you have your full spectrum camera going? He's like, yeah. And I went, take a fucking picture. Take a picture, quick. Oh, yeah. He's like, why? I said, there's a doctor standing in the doorway. And he goes, are you sure? And I went, snap the photo. And he took a photo and we caught a shadow figure of a doctor's coat.
Yep. Right where he said it was. And I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal. That is one of my favorite clips.
Yeah.
That was Mary.
That clip is amazing.
Yeah.
That was the quickest endorsement I have ever seen of anything, product, person, or otherwise.
Oh yeah. From that night on, that like Chris and Audra said, that was the first night they investigated with us. And I remember telling Cherie, holy crap. I mean, he was spot on. I mean, there's no denying this. And just
sure enough,
amazing.
There's a female voice.
Yeah.
There's a woman.
She's loud.
You're right.
Yep, she's loud.
Right.
I think I chased her into the bathroom too, didn't I?
You did, because I remember I came back in a little while later and you're like, she's in there. She's in there. I'm like, well, maybe we'll just let her finish.
I'll just leave her there.
Wait for the flush, and then we'll talk to her more.
That's really cool. That's a phenomenal EVP.
It's very loud.
Clearly,
Clear.
hey, that's
Very loud. Yeah.
tone. There it is, Tony. You can run down your laundry list of categories. You say, right? You can tell the tone, the gender, right? The emotion is in that. Like, there's a lot. That's not just two words.
And the emotion. She was excited to know that Chris knew she was there. You're right. I mean, incredible EVP.
And for everybody watching, Cherie and Audra were way down by the nursery or down by the X-ray room. They were too far away for them to be picked up on the audio. So and that wasn't their voice. So.
It can be me because I have accent. Yeah.
Tony, you want to field that? You want to field that question, Tony, from Uncle Giuseppe? Because we were 2 weeks away from booking tickets to go investigate that place. Tell them why we can't.
The reason is because the building was actually up for sale for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. And when we approached the owner and said, you know, there's paranormal activity in here. Here's what we'd like to do with it. And he said, oh my God, I love it. It's a great idea. So we did that for years. But then eventually somebody came along and bought it. Yeah. And we went round and round saying, hey, can we still do it? Because the previous owner said to him, hey, this couple runs these paranormal and, you know, it's a good money maker. And they wanted to turn it into a hotel. And they wanted nothing to do with the paranormal. And we tried and tried and tried, and they just finally stopped taking our calls and just.
Well, and then they ran into another problem. So the previous owner that did the paranormal stuff with Tony and Cherie and Audra and I, he had insurance on the property that would cover the investigations.
Right.
When the new owner brought it over, the insurance company came out and inspected the building and went,
Yeah,
right.
It got worse.
Yeah. Well, not only that, the power got shut off, and the electric company refused to turn it back on unless they redid all the wiring.
Still to this day, it's still.
Yeah, still to this day. That was back in September of 2021. It got bought.
Yeah.
To this day, it is still sitting completely unused, which drives us nuts because it's not that far from here. Well,
hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. And knowing what goes on in there, it just kills me that we can't go back.
Yeah,
it was a phenomenal place.
It was.
Yo, I would have the company I worked for when I was in Phoenix. I would have from Christmas to New Year's off, and everybody else had to work. I would drive down during the day by myself and do an investigation at this building. I mean, it was just.
You do that many times.
Yeah, it was just a phenomenal place, man. I miss that place.
We miss it very much.
You've never been there. We miss it.
She ain't lying.
We actually prepare your room before we already said, okay, they're gonna stay here. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna Chris and Audra is gonna stay here in this room.
Yeah, we had a whole plan set up, and then it got sold.
Yeah,
I've never seen it since. Haven't seen it since.
So sad. So sad.
it's a shame.
All right, next clip we have 2-piece Red Mill Cognac clip.
This is a couple of weeks ago. We may have shown this once, if that. This is when we did the Red Mill in West Jersey with Daryl Marston from the rebooted Ghost Hunters.
And Jotnick's Paranormal.
And Jotnick's Paranormal did a fantastic event. They really ran a well-orchestrated event. This was, we were in the main mill building where the little waterfall and stuff was adjacent right on the outside. And we did, 3 or 4 Staticom sittings that night?
I think it was
with different groups
3.
that came in.
Yeah.
So these are 2 things from that. And this is an example of what we were talking about before, where there's no noise floor between the people or the entities that talk. No noise floor.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Here we go.
Are your children here with you?
It's
How do you identify yourself?
EVP.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
That's awesome.
It's so good.
That was awesome.
Man, that's really clear EVP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The whole
everything.
thing
I
was
love
spot
it.
on clear.
Yeah.
But think about that too. Again, the conscious awareness of how they understand they're communicating with us, and that they're going to identify. Hey, he's biting the power cord.
You know, he's not. He's just hiding his food.
Shit balls.
But that conscious awareness of them saying, I'm going to identify myself through EVP. Again, the intelligence that displays is amazing. Just amazing.
It was cool. And we heard that in the moment. She heard it right away.
In the light. I didn't hear the standing, but I heard in the light. So
Yeah.
did the other lady. She heard in the light. And then the EVP, we all heard it.
But
EVP.
that was kind of what we were talking about, where we want to kind of sustain the contact, because that's, and I don't agree with this, but people who complain about ghost boxes and the sweeping and the static and and they hate it, and that never bothered me. I like the sound of a nice, smooth, rhythmic sweep. I do. But just for as close to the phone to the dead thing as possible, that was no warble or anything so clear. Yeah, I mean, that was what we were trying to go for. So we were really happy with how clear and quiet a lot of what came out of that night was.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, the next piece we have is Diplomat Hotel.
So the Diplomat Hotel is in Baguio City in the Philippines. And last time, was that last time? Yeah, that was last time.
Yeah.
Last time we were there, Sheree came up to me and said, You remember the Diplomat Hotel, right? Because I had looked it up online because I heard all these stories about it. And I mean, it's literally just feared by locals. I mean, once the sun goes down, it's all gated, so nobody can even get in. They lock it all up, but they won't even go near it. Even if they could, even if somebody left the gate open, even the security guard, when we went in, took about 10 steps with us and said, "That's as far as I go." The sun was down, go any further.
This used to be Yamashita's headquarters
During World War II.
Right.
It was a monk retreat house, and during World War II, when
Yamashita
took it over, he beheaded the monks and the nuns that were in there, killed them all, beheaded them.
Wow.
So it's got a violent history. Then it became a hotel for a while after that.
A retreat house.
Who wouldn't want to stay there?
Yeah. It already has an insecurity guard.
We got permission. Well, actually, we had permission. Then they pulled it from us and said that there was a group in a couple weeks earlier, and they thought they had gotten possessed, and they didn't want anyone doing overnight investigations. So Sheree says, let's go talk to the mayor or whoever.
Yeah.
And we did. And he started talking about his experiences. He was doing some volunteer work in there, and he started telling us about what happened to him. He goes, I'll let you guys in. So he signed up for him. We showed it at the gate, and the guy's like, go ahead. So, but anyway, these are some captures that we got. Again, there is no spirit box. There is no staticom. This is straight EVP.
So you guys have heard the history of this place. You heard the security guard scared shitless to go more than 10 feet past the gate. A whole group went in. Somebody got possessed. And Tony and Sheree goes, let's just the two of us go and investigate this.
Yeah. The only time in 13, coming up on 14 years of investigating, 15 minutes into it, Sheree said to me, let's step outside. I said, it's raining. Why do you want to step outside? She goes, can we step outside?
Yeah, it's really
so we got out there. She goes, this is freaking me out. I'm like, because I kept asking her, do you hear them speaking? And she wouldn't say anything. So then we went outside. I'm like, tell me you hear them speaking. She goes, I can totally hear them speaking. It's freaking me out because I'm gonna walk around one of these dark corners and something's gonna be standing there. I know it, but we did. We finished it. We got through it. But anyway, these captures were just really cool, and we think this is some amazing
investigation,
paranormal activity.
All right, here we go.
The voices we were hearing were so prevalent and so constant, we decided to have Cherie try a little experiment.
Do you miss your family? Do you need help? What happened to you? Are you trapped here in this building?
Maybe. Hear it? Not only were they answering us, we could hear it with our own ears. So the next question was, what if Cherie tries a different language? Let's see what happens.
Ano po pangalan niyo? Ako po si Cherie.
Hi, Tony.
Kasama ko po ang asawa ko si Tony.
We've tried to communicate with spirits all over the world now.
Pwede po ba kayo magpakita sa amin?
I want to go there.
Oh my God.
You haven't seen it. They've got like an hour and a half of EVPs.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
No joke.
easily.
Yeah.
The second we walked in there, they were speaking, and because it was raining outside and the water flowing, it created that white noise background. And I truly believe today, based off of everything that's been done with Staticom, that created a noise floor for them to use whatever vocals they were using to have it, amplified so that we could hear it with our own ears. But
That's Bill Ordway, by the way.
Hey, Bill.
But yeah, awesome, just awesome place.
Yeah, that was
Bill is
those
my
are
friend. Hi,
exceptional.
Bill.
Exceptional level EVPs.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. That's
insane.
Yeah, those are crazy.
This is
And
rapping.
you can hear it. You can just no denying it. You can hear them.
And I saw somebody say, this confuses me. Why would it be in English? They'll speak in any language they know you can understand, and you don't have to. Cherie speaks 3 languages: English, Tagalog, and Japanese. And the only language we think, and we actually found out this answer just maybe a week ago, in Victoria Monday, when I had posted part of that clip, the Koji Lili, we thought it was Latin. It's not. It's actually Croatian, and it means anyone.
Oh, okay.
So,
But it's been known that you can go to Italy and you'll get EVPs in English, even through your spirit boxes, or you'll get the language that you understand.
correct.
It's been known to happen.
Right.
Which supports the idea that we've been saying, that they're not using the fragments of the vocalizations through the sweep or otherwise, if they even exist, with white noise or ambient resonance like you had in an area with all the water. then it's only a resonance-based thing, and then they're going to come through in what you're going to comprehend. That's the consciousness part of it.
Right. Exactly.
That's unbelievable. That's a dissertation on EVPs and the quality you should strive for. That's how good that is. And I know there's more of them. You put those in the docuseries too, and every time we watch that, I'm like, that's crazy.
Thank you.
Good, so good.
Who is that Facebook user? I think she said
It is Bill Ordway.
Oh, someone said that they've been to the Diplomat Hotel. I don't know.
That's Bill.
That would be Bill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
All right.
All right. So the next clip is from Audra and I at Trans Allegheny. I love this one. This is one of my favorite EVPs I've ever captured.
Oh, yeah.
We've explained it before. So when we go to a location, usually I walk the place by myself, and we don't go off of hot spots. Like you've got Dean's room at Trans Allegheny. You've got the 1800 section. You've got Lily's room. You've got the 4th floor creeper. You've got the 3rd floor child area that everybody always goes to. I don't investigate that way. Thank you.
That's sweet.
So I go through, and Audra and I, we've said it before, we're more on the metaphysical side. I go through, and where I'm picking up energy, that's where I drop my buckets, and that's where I put my recorders. We walked in. So when we did our private investigation, it was the first time that they had opened the lobotomy section. And anybody knows the history of Trans Allegheny, that's where they first started testing lobotomies in the United States. And it was just horrible. I'm not even going to get into it. It's disgusting, but it was just horrible the amount of lobotomies they did. They didn't use anesthesia. They didn't ask the patients if they wanted to. They did it anywhere from 18-month-old children all the way up to adults. They would perform these lobotomies. This is a residual, in my opinion, left over from all the lobotomies that they did at Trans Allegheny. There was nobody in the section at this time. When we went down there, we could smell death. We both got sick to our stomach. We couldn't stay in the area. We didn't get to the recovery area. We were into the area where they actually physically performed the lobotomies. We didn't get to the recovery area because we couldn't go any further. We were getting sick to our stomach, the feelings that we were getting in this area. And this is what we captured. Here we go.
Wow.
That's insane. You want to talk about emotion packed into a disembodied
It's disturbing
voice.
and really good at the same time.
Holy cow. Because that's palpable.
Yeah. It's so clear, but it's such a good EVP, and it's so disturbing because you really feel like you can hear what they're feeling is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but it puts you into that exact position of, and it brings the whole experience to
and for anybody watching that doesn't know how they perform those, it was a flat-headed device that was like an ice pick. Right. And had a little bitty hook at the end of it, and they would go in through the corner of the eye right here. And when you see on my recording where it says mallet, they used a metal mallet, and they would stick them in the corner of the eye socket and whack until they got into that frontal lobe, and then they'd scramble their brains like scrambled eggs, thinking that would cure whatever was wrong with them, and then pull them out. And there's actually pictures at Trans Allegheny of people after the lobotomies with black eyes from where they'd gone in with these spikes and that mallet. And I amplified that a little bit so you guys could hear the no, because you hear the mallet, you hear the scream, but if you listen really close to that EVP, there's a no right before the mallet starts.
Hi, honey. My sister.
I'm guessing that's your sister again.
Yeah.
That's gone. Yeah, I think that's. I know it's residual. It's not consciousness and intelligence like we normally, but that is in that location. The impact of that residual sound is it's still to this day makes me sick to my stomach listening to it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Hi.
Very sad.
Yeah, I mean it carries the emotion of the moment. That's why everybody, look at all the reactions in the chat. Look at the faces of us listening to that. I mean, we're impressed from a research perspective, but that's sound with scoring music and films, right? It carries emotion. It hits excitations of consciousness to make you feel and experience certain phenomenal things. That that clip does that. It absolutely does that. It strikes chords.
Yeah.
You feel it in the sound. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But as captures go, bravo.
That was fantastic.
That's a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I about shit myself doing review when I heard that.
I bet.
Yes, he did. He was.
I was freaking the F out. It was.
Who would?
All right. We have one more from Gonyak that I'm going to have to share the screen for.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't let me turn it into a video so I could pull it in.
Oh, yeah. I was having an issue with the editing program trying to make this into a regular widescreen format like the other ones. This is just, when was this? This was just recently. The night before we went to the Friday night before we did the soiree, like last Friday.
Okay, because I forgot which one you said.
There's the date, 10/6, so it was last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, last Friday.
4 days ago.
The precursor to this is the beginning of another file. If you can see the timer on the bottom, it says 4 seconds. The file before this, we had just asked about puckwudgies, jinn, imps. We had asked about a variety of different, cryptids or creatures or entities and stuff. And then there was a break in the recording, like a silent spot. And then we try to keep the files 15 to 30 minutes the most. This one's around 30. So I started a new file, and then we got a response to that right after, and that's what this is. So when you hear them speaking about something, they're speaking to all those creatures that we just asked about.
We just asked about it.
Are they real? Are they this? Are they that?
We asked about it, and then we started another file, and then we got the response on the other file.
And you hear me in the very beginning, I happened to ask about if my mom was around or something, but they spoke to the other thing.
All right, here we go. Now we're going to be able to talk through this, so here we go.
I'm going to mute.
Yeah.
If I can find my mouse.
Where's my play? Play. There it is. Where's my mother?
Order were you asking him in, so we
Say
know
it
which
again,
goes
'cause
to
I
which?
hadn't unmuted.
Oh. What order are you asking, so we know what answer goes to which one?
You were a little breaking up. We couldn't hear you. What?
So you were asking the questions first about, nymphs and so on and so forth. What correlates to which one? Do you know?
Yeah. So which ones were they saying were fiction, and which ones were they saying were aliens?
They said all of them.
They said all of them.
Because they're all fiction. They're all aliens. That's what they said.
Okay.
Wow. That was incredible. Can you play that one more time?
Of course I can. Here we go. Where's my mother?
Wow.
The question we were asking is Pugwudgie real? Is imps real? Jinn? Oh, and we got Jinn in the other file.
It did say Jinn on
It
the
did
other
say
one,
Jinn.
yeah.
So we were asking, is it real or fake? That was the question. Too bad it's not in this file. But
yeah, there were two there. I could put them together. I don't usually like to segment pieces together, but there was the end of the one file. We didn't know they were going to speak to it right after we started another file.
So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
So, and it was weird. There was a little bit of echo to the sound on here, and the original file doesn't have that. I don't know if that's StreamYard.
It's like his voice sounds echoey.
Yeah,
like, why is
there's no echo on the original.
And this is the way it's. I don't know. That was weird.
It's very clear.
The echo may be because prior to the show I turned my speakers up, and maybe it's echoing back through.
Yeah, because it didn't echo here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
it didn't?
We heard a
Okay.
little bit of echo to it. It
All
didn't
right.
have any of that to it before, but
No, it
Yeah.
didn't hear live when I played it, so
Here, let me fix
must have
that.
been the speakers.
we had asked a bunch of those questions, and then they had repeated the word gin. And then all the other ones we didn't really hear responses to. We started a new file, and then I moved on. I asked about my mom, and then it was literally seconds after we finished one file, went to the next. So it's
We're assuming that they're answering that.
pretty
right?
well connected
Because
time wise. Yeah, we assumed that that's what it was.
it makes sense.
Yeah, I would have assumed that too. But what an interesting theory then. I mean, we might have to start UFO hunting. She didn't hear a word I said. She's trying to
I'm
post
working
comments.
over here.
You need some pillows, so at least when you're working, we can still see your beautiful face.
Because Tony's mouse, he put it all the way in his side, and I have a short arm. I can't reach it.
I'm gonna keep it PG.
Yeah, please.
I know. My mind was thinking.
Oh yeah. I told her that last show. I'm like, you realize every time you reach for the mouse, you
different.
disappear.
Because I go right here.
All you
and
see is
not
the
right
top of
there.
Cherie's head. Ooh.
I can't take you anywhere.
Entity Voices, pornographic evidence.
That's
And you don't even have to change your hat.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Goes right back to when Anthony put on their "Stay Horny."
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, guys, we're actually over. We usually go about an hour and a half, but for the next 15 minutes, for everybody that's still watching, we've gotten through all our evidence clips. I can't speak at least once during every flipping show. Making UG blush. I seriously doubt Giuseppe's ever blushed, but
Ever.
After our shows. Yeah.
so
Seriously.
yeah, welcome to the After Hours show. Paraporn brought to you by.
Sure,
That was an amazing set of evidence, though, from everybody. That seriously just shows what is capable of being captured. Do those happen on a regular basis? No, they don't. But they do with enough time, with enough patience, and with enough investigation. They will come, and that set was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is what we call in paranormal the red zone, like in football. These are the red zone captures right here.
Right.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Yeah, we appreciate it. I liked it that you guys brought that video capture from the Phelps Dodge, because I don't care how many times you see that. If you don't think holy caca every time you see it,
Those shadows, man.
it's unbelievable how that's just, you don't see that. That is very rare to capture something.
That's gold. That's a gold capture.
And I can tell you the only reason why Phelps Dodge didn't blow up as a Trans-Allegheny was because of the location.
Right.
2 miles from the Mexican border. It was an hour and a half south of Phoenix. It was way out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
The hotel rooms were tough sheds.
Right. But we had a lot of fun in those tough sheds.
We had a lot of fun in those tough sheds, y'all.
But yeah, you're right. The location, they keep trying to rebuild that town, but it's got its hardships. No.
Unfortunately, Ajo is one of those Arizona towns that when the copper ran out, so did the town.
So did the town. Right. Well, actually, it was just that the copper price fell and it wasn't worth producing anymore. There's still lots of copper left in that.
Oh yeah. Well, the European copper was being brought in, and it drove the prices of the American copper down, and it wasn't worth it. Yeah.
Correct.
So for the next, say, 15 minutes, does the audience have any questions for the six of us? We'll answer as many as we can in the next 15 minutes.
Do we have the phone again this week or no?
No. We didn't set it up.
No, I didn't set it up. I guess.
Okay. Well, we can.
I can post their comments.
Yeah, we can do it there. I can look real quick and see if I can.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Wow.
Let me try and touch base on that. Christina, you have to find groups like ours in your area that are willing to come in, do an investigation, and possible cleansing if needed at the house in order
for free.
For
By
free.
the way.
If you reach out to a group and they want to charge you, they're not
away.
in it for what they should be in it for. So if you tell us where we're at, we might be able to find a group in your area that might be able to help.
That's true. And Christina, the other really important thing is regardless of what anyone else thinks is occurring or may be occurring, believe them. And
absolutely. You want
try to, because any negativity on the child from an adult's perspective, all that can't be happening. That leaves permanent change to their line of thinking. And he may very well be seeing what he says he's seeing. I can't guarantee that from where I'm at, but like Chris and Audra said, find a qualified, reputable paranormal group to come in and take a look. But when he talks about it, just say, okay, yep, we're going to see what we can do, find out what's going on, rather than going, no, that's not possible. You're imagining it.
Find out the history too.
Correct. You might very well be correct.
And Christina, we do have some friends with groups in the upper portion of Ohio.
Yeah.
I don't know what part of Michigan that you are in, but if you want to DM us on Facebook, maybe we can put you in touch with somebody that can reach out and help you.
You have to take it seriously. You have to respect the situation. Even when somebody, if you think it's imagination, even if you think that's what it is, when somebody experiences any kind of dissociative state, even if it's with personalities or mental disorder, the reflective experience that they have is real. It's very real to them. So especially a child who may not know the difference with how to tell if something's imaginative. Who knows? You know what I mean? But you have to take it seriously for sure. And absolutely a reputable team that would come in and that would get data that would either support it or explain it, help understand it. If they show up at your house and they start doing lives on TikTok, kick them out. Because that's not what that's supposed to be about.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they go in there one time, they're going to give you a whole assessment. Because it takes more than one time to go in there and then start saying that it's this and that and this.
Correct.
You need some time, to figure things out. So
good point, Lourdes. Very good point.
Yeah.
And somebody said it's hard to find said it's hard to find a reputable group. Finding people like us is how you find the reputable groups. Reputable.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions that are
the one about how we all met.
Oh, which one?
Melissa.
How the six of us all met? It was a speed dating accident that went wrong.
It was at a bar. We were all shit-faced. It was...
Tony liked a certain cable company. Chris and I were intrigued.
What company?
Then he asked for a time machine. We didn't know what was going on. And who is this guy?
Yeah. That's a great answer. Nobody will understand that, but that's a great answer.
Do you want me to take this one?
Yeah, you should. One of you two couples should answer that question because we're at the back end of this awesome story.
So Audra and I absolutely love Tombstone. We had friends in Tombstone. We used to go down to Tombstone all the time and investigate.
Band camp.
One night, it was at band camp. One night, we went and did a group investigation at the Birdcage Theater on Allen Street in Tombstone. And we were sitting at the table during the silent session in the dark, and there was this weird guy with this big apparatus that had all this shit on it, and it looked like it weighed 180 pounds, with this little Asian lady in the group. And Audra and I looked at him and I went, hey, they actually look like real investigators, not just somebody that's drunk and came from the bar and said, hey, let's do a ghost investigation. And Audra started talking to him. Well, we found out that they were true investigators like we were true investigators. And the weird part is we were staying at the exact same bed and breakfast.
Yep. Wow.
We found out later, we all sat up that night bullshitting and talking about what we've done, what they've done. And we found out that they actually only lived about 1.5 miles from us.
Right.
We're neighbors.
Yeah, same city.
Yes. And then Tony and Cherie told us about the Phelps Dodge Hospital, and that's how we did the first investigation, which you saw one of the clips from tonight. And we became really good friends after that part. And then we started doing investigations together. Then we teamed up on the Ajo Hospital, doing tours down there and teaching other people and groups how to do investigations. And then where's it go from there?
We started.
We started Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tony Cherie started. We were the first ones on the show, and then we went from there. And how Ron and Lourdes came in is they were guests on our show, and we just thought they were phenomenal people. And they ended up filling in while Audra and I were moving to North Carolina when Tony and Cherie were doing the show, because we couldn't be on the show for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
Because we were without internet, we were moving. And then when we got back and talked to Tony and Cherie and watched the shows that Ron and Lourdes were on, that we decided that it was all fate.
All came together.
We all needed to be together. We gave birth to Ron and Lourdes.
Yeah.
Actually, Tony and I did, and man, was it painful.
You have no idea. But let me tell you, it was one of the best decisions we made for the show, because the 3 groups of couples and the 6 of us balance every version of specialties, of interests, of knowledge.
Yeah.
And it worked. And now, the 6 of us all went out to Chris and Audra's place in North Carolina and got to do the Montgomery House. And on separate occasions, Ron and Lourdes met up with Chris and Audra in Gettysburg. Cherie and I went out to Ron and Lourdes in New Jersey and did the 4-man tour. And then Ron and Lourdes came out to Vegas and met Cherie and I for, what was that, a Paracon?
Yes.
Yeah. So the relationships and friendships just completely took off after that. And then, of course, we're still doing EVPE. Cherie and I were fascinated with the direct radio voice that Ron and Lourdes showed us. And so that built the connection of, Ron and I go back and forth almost every couple of days on Datacom and what's working and what we want to change. And that just continues. And then the whole group just flows perfectly. And it just became not only a great show, and great friends, and just continues from there.
I mean, the chemistry between the 6 of us is just beautiful. It's great. Yeah. We just get along so well. Yeah. And like Tony said, we all have our specialties. And you know what? And we've had, like, I'm not gonna say maybe disagreements. We talk about it and we figure it out, like friends are supposed to do. Friends, and it's okay to have disagreements, and you work it out and you talk about it, and that's what we do. That's what friendship is about. And we are family. We are family.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell everybody watching that I am a very guarded person. I come from a long line of law enforcement. My great-great-grandfather was a deputy sheriff in Nemaha County. My father was a deputy sheriff. I was a deputy sheriff. I am a very non-trusting person. It takes a lot to get through the walls that All Good puts up. And the 4 people in this one here, you see in front of you, not including me, have been nothing but heart-wrenching, invade my walls, break me down, intense, integrity, honest, sincere, great people. And these people you see on the screen in front of you are some of the biggest people that I trust in this world, and that says a lot coming from me.
That I second. Chris does have some heavy walls to get through, but when you do, you don't ever have to doubt him being there behind you or for you or for the rest of your life. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've said this before. I've never seen the level of and then he with a little Ronnie became Uncle Giuseppe. That's true. And now you're everybody's Uncle Giuseppe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've never seen the level of respect and consideration that on paper everybody would write about or hope for with a friendship or even with a relative or whatever. I've never seen it at this level with a group like I have with everybody here, where if your feelings are in play, everybody else gives a shit. They care. They consider you when opportunities come up. They support you when you have things going on. They're happy for you. You're happy for them. This is as if you're looking to have bonds and friendships and connect with people in this field, this is the gold standard to me. And I'm not just saying it because we're on a show. Go on. But this is the real deal to me. And you know, and the whole, we were doing DRV and then we brought you guys in and now we have this whole Staticom thing. You guys were giving us opportunities and we were becoming more integrated in the community outside of our immediate driving vicinity. You guys have done a lot for us on multiple levels, all of you. So this for us, like we look back and we go, had we not been added to this show, a lot of what we're achieving, a lot of what we're doing right now probably wouldn't be where it is. Yeah. It wouldn't. So this situation has benefited all of us collectively and individually. You know, this is how it should be. This when you say family, this is what it feels like.
Right. Absolutely. That's right.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep.
This is my tribe.
Yep. And Jenny's part of our tribe here
That's
too.
Right. That's right.
And I think, you know what, if you want to talk about that whole like attracts like and all that other stuff, I mean, honestly, when you set the standard at that level with how we are with each other, I mean, that's why we have people like Jenny and Anthony Simonelli and the people who Uncle Giuseppe, the people that we run together with. That's, you know, see, there you go. These are the people who we've attracted, who have attracted us, who we work with all the time. Giuseppe and Anthony, Team Parasite, Full Moon, Rich Michella. Rich Michelle, if we do one more event with him, I'm pretty sure I can put him on my taxes. We're gonna see him tomorrow. So yeah, I mean this is why you do this stuff. Everybody who investigates at some point probably gets some really cool evidence. They get some really awesome stuff they can share, something that people can't explain, whatever. But just like in anything in life, when they tell you that you don't hang your hat on the destination, you hang it on the journey, because you spend more time getting there than you do being there. And this is the journey.
Right.
This is the journey. Everybody you see here and what we do, and we share it, even though we're not always in the same place. So,
well said.
Yeah, and
Very
we
well said.
value our friendship and, you know,
and opinions, even if, like Florida said, there are disagreements, that's fine.
It's hard to find a true friend.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah, and the older you get, the harder it becomes. So this was a absolute blessing, no doubt.
And we got lucky. We found 4 in one podcast. We found 4.
Yeah,
right. That's awesome.
Absolutely, this was great.
Fantastic. That's our story.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's our story.
Yeah.
And we are unfortunately out of time.
You are correct.
But we will all be back next week.
Well,
oh, that's right.
Okay, I just fucking lied to y'all.
Uh-oh.
So give it up. What's going on?
Well, we might as well go into shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Might as well. Starting tomorrow night, we're doing a lecture presentation with Rich Michelle, with Kim, the Ghost History Medium, at the public library in Lodi, Harding Library. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow night. This weekend, we're going up to Niagara Falls for the premiere of season 4, Deathwalker, which we're excited to do. Next week on Monday, we're the guest speakers for William Helms, who's been on the show. He does a monthly paranormal meetup. We haven't done one with him in a while, so he asked us to come back. He does them, unfortunately, on Monday, so we're going to be there next Monday for the meetup, and then we'll be back the following Monday
for the show. I mean, we're not staying there the whole week. He's just
well,
we'll be back for the show on the following Monday. We won't be able to make it this coming Monday. Sorry, guys.
We'll miss you, but sounds like a great
Yeah,
For sure.
Great opportunity. And
he does a nice job. He does his monthly meetups, and a lot of people come into it's a nice place he runs them at. He gets great attendance every time. A lot of people who are in the community that are in that area come out and see us and support each other. And so, this is it's the spooky month, so we're grateful to be busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then book 4 is supposed to be out any time now. I'm just waiting for an official announcement for the release date for Paranormalization: Memoirs of an Academic Layperson. That's book 4, and it has everybody you see here on screen, not just me, contributed with their own little. So if you want to see their personal backstories to how they got into the field and their experiences and some of their highlights, that's in the book. And that was my honor to have all you guys submit something. And what you wrote, I am not the only person who is a talented writer, if considered that, in this group of 6. Every one of you, like what you gave me, was really so well written, and it was so good speaking to your story. So I'm appreciative of that, because that gives the book value to me to have everybody's participation in it.
Was that inclusive of spelling mistakes?
Oh yeah, I make them too.
Who doesn't know how to use spell check?
Getting all right. I'm sorry.
There weren't a lot of spelling mistakes.
Spell check is like Siri. You end up saying shit you didn't mean.
Exactly.
So what do we got for shameless plugs? Let's see. We actually have our first Halloween party.
Yay! With
On
kids.
Friday. Yep. And then we've got an investigation of Globe on Saturday.
That's cool.
And following week we have, oh man, I don't remember the days, but we've got 2 opportunities to
October
do some
22.
Staticom and some investigation at the Orpheum Theater.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got another Staticom opportunity that actually Roger got for us on the 20. Excuse me if I get the dates wrong. I'm not going to say dates. Saturday, 2 weeks from now, I think, 2 or 3. Then we've got another Globe Funk. Oh no.
Roger, can you help Tony?
Yeah, no kidding, Roger.
Yeah, I'm the only one allowed to F up the words.
Superstition Mountains. We got another session at the Superstition Mountain Museum, which is just awesome place.
28th.
So we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up.
Nice. Very nice.
That's cool.
28th.
Cool.
Sorry.
As you should.
Oh, and November 4th. What's the 4th? Oh yeah.
Day after the 3rd.
Thank you. That's what I would think.
Very nice. That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of Staticom opportunities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks,
We
Roger.
are celebrating our anniversary tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Saturday. In 2 weeks from Friday, we will be in Phoenix. We will get to see the Rathmans.
With you guys.
Nice.
We will get to see the Rathmans. We get to spend with my son and his wife and our grandbaby, her first birthday.
Yep. Celebrate her Christmas.
Oh, that's nice.
And then in November, we will be working with PPIT. They have a new investigator they want to bring out to the Montgomery house to do some training with the new investigator there. So we will be working with them on one of their new investigators, and they will be coming on the show here pretty soon with clips from the private that we did with them, where we did the cleansing and found the what the hell am I thinking? The scrying mirrors.
Oh, the mirrors. Yeah.
Yes.
Roger.
So they will be coming on as soon as they get the release from the private homeowner to allow them to show the clips on the show. So they'll be coming on the show. That was an investigation we were a portion of too. So that's
awesome.
what we've got coming up.
Yeah.
Very
Excited
cool.
to see you guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be so cool.
2 weeks from Friday.
2 weeks from Friday. So, sorry, Roger, the 4th canceled. No, I'm kidding. The beginning of October, right?
We will be there 27th through the 1st.
Perfect.
Oh, that's cool. We wish you could be there for that.
I know.
Yes.
That would be cool.
We could
Get you to
go.
Phoenix.
We could go break into the Phelps Dodge.
Phelps job.
We gotta get to Phoenix. We do. We have to get down there or up there or wherever.
Do it November through February.
Yeah.
Wasn't one of
that's right.
Sorry. Wasn't one of the policemen there for an investigation? Oh no, that was with Longhorn Paranormal. Remember one of the cops were you guys there the night the cop said, I'll come check on it, but I'm not walking around the building because he was freaked out. Yeah. He did an investigation with us one of the nights with Longhorn Paranormal, right? Wasn't he?
Yes, it was Longhorn.
All right. Sorry, I thought
he was there the night that we found a bunch of stuff stolen.
Right.
Correct. Same guy.
And I literally had to tell him that I was a deputy and had to walk him through the hospital because he wouldn't go inside.
Couldn't go alone, right?
Yeah, he would not go inside.
Yeah. He showed up at an investigation like 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, he was scared the whole time we were walking through that place. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
All right, guys. We will be back next week with Tony and Cherie. Unfortunately, not with Gonyak.
Oh, we'll be gone.
We will miss you guys.
We'll miss you. You'll have fun.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
But try to watch.
Yeah, I'll put together a Ron and Lourdes blooper reel.
Oh, now I'm watching.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The demon flies. The demon flies.
That is one of my favorite pieces of non-paranormal evidence.
You got to put the one in Kreischer.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kreischer in the stairs. I love that one.
That was a tattoo one. Yeah.
The tattoo one.
When I was creating demon flies, I laughed through the whole thing when I was making it. The eye rolls were just.
That was funny. That was funny.
we had this delusion that we were being really coy and really sparse with how often we looked away. We were so effing wrong.
I was trying though. He did it more than me. I was trying, but every time he looked up, I'm like, "Don't look, don't look." But I was like,
lantern fly was just walking. He was circling. He was taunting us.
So to give everybody in on the inside joke, everybody watching. So Tony and I, since Tony produced the show for so long, and then I've been producing the show for the last year or so.
Yeah,
we have controls where we can see at the bottom of our screen when we're playing a video. We disappear from the screen, but we can still see everybody down at the bottom.
Right.
And Ron and Lourdes didn't realize they didn't know for the longest time that we could still see him dancing and watching flies. And they didn't know we could see him because they don't have the control, so they can't see us down at the bottom.
No.
So a lot of those clips Tony grabbed were from that. It was hilarious.
That was one of the funniest things that I ever got lampooned in.
Oh my God!
When I watched that, I love and hate Tony at the same time. That's great.
For anybody who did not see it and is curious about what we're talking about, you can go and find it. I can't remember, a month ago, maybe month and a half ago,
at least
6 weeks,
more, maybe, yeah,
maybe a little more, yeah.
But we'll play it on Monday.
Melissa, that's exactly what it was. It was a bloopers night. And I can't remember the title, what Chris called the show, but
hang on, I keep the spreadsheet. I can tell you what date it was.
Oh, cool. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, there was some funny stuff in there.
A lot of it was funny, but that one, we were in tears watching ourselves in that one. It was unbelievable.
Look at those fools.
It was one of the Mondays in June.
Oh wow, it's been that long.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't
that long.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
I knew it was longer
than
that.
I have the spreadsheet where I keep track of everything. So
but you didn't
cool.
No, but it was one of these. We had the evidence show, we had PPIT on, and then we had that.
Another evidence show.
It was either the 19th of June or July 24th. It was one of those.
19th of June, I think it was. That sounds familiar to me now. Huh. But anyway, if you want to check out what we're talking about, it's funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really.
We were in tears.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will be back next week, same channel, without Ron and Lourdes, but the Rathmans will be here. We will be here, doing the same stuff, acting a fool like we always do. But that's what we do, and that's why we do it, because we love it. We love each other. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, you have to stay in the paranormal. You have to find people that you want to be with, that you want to stay with, that you want to investigate with. But most importantly, you got to find the people that you care about to create a true team and a true family in the paranormal and create that para-unity that keeps us driving on with our passion, not just in the field, but for each other when we get out there and investigate. Most of all, you got to stay friends, but you also got to stay haunted. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Nice.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?